Good morning, good afternoon, good day, everyone. Welcome back to another segment of Real Talk with Eugene. I am Eugene Holden, and I am so very happy to be here with you again, coming to you from New Thought Media Network, the place that's making changes in the world. If you going into your chat or your your comment section, you will find links to sign up for New Thought Media Network's newsletter. And if you want to donate, there will be a link for that, because everything and anything that you give helps us to get the word out. And the word is about growing and expanding and expressing your highest and greatest good. Again, I am Eugene Holden. I am your host today on Real Talk with Eugene. And today it's just me. And today what I want to talk about is staying the course in the new normal. Staying the course in the new normal. You know, we've been hearing this phrase now, right? That this is the new normal with, COVID-19 and the pandemic that's going on. There's social distancing that's happening. People are wearing masks. People are sometimes fighting that they have to wear masks. There are global protests. There are national protests. I was speaking with my brother earlier, and we were speaking about just in Colorado that there are, at CU Boulder, CU Denver, there are 700 new cases of the virus. So there's all of this going on. And here it is September 2020. How did that happen? And so, as I've been mentioning before, you probably have heard me say this before, that at the beginning of the year, when we were talking about this is a brand new year, this is a brand new decade, it's 2020, we get to see a brand new vision. Well, then all of this happened, right? And so what I say is that, yes, we will get to a new vision. I have faith that this is just what I call the cataract extraction, fixing the lens of the eye so that we can see more clearly through what the vision is that Spirit has. So everything that is going on here, the pandemic, the protest, as everybody knows who's watching, we with the Supreme Court decision that came down yesterday, Breonna Taylor's case, so there's going to be more protests about that. It's not that I'm trying to put that out there. It's already out there. It's already happening. And so we have been, becoming used to this being the new normal. But this is not the new normal. All of this that's going on, I call them, and this is not my term that I came up with, but these can be looked at as weapons of mass distraction. Weapons of mass distraction. A lot of times the media, and this has been going on for many years, will show us time and time again all of the things that are going wrong and all of the things that we need to be upset about. And we get distracted. We get distracted by all of this. Now, I'm not saying to bury our heads in the sand. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying to poo-poo this away and that, kumbaya, that all is good. Well, the all is good part, the all is good is really, really good. But here's what I mean about not being distracted, not being sucked in by the weapons of mass distraction, is that we want to stay the course. With all of these changes that's going on, all of the changes that are happening in life, your life, my life, our lives, there's one thing that is constant. Now, you can call it God, you can call it Spirit, you can call it the universal intelligence, you can call it anything that you want, but it's consistent and it is constant. And it is that I call the divine intelligence. And this divine intelligence continues, that's that intelligence that beats our hearts without us even thinking about it. It's that intelligence that causes the sun to shine. It's that intelligence that has us waking up in the morning. You know, one of the things I like to say is that we are here at this time on purpose. If we are here on the planet in this nation at this time, we are here for a specific purpose. Now, sometimes we may not know what that purpose is. So what I want to invite us all to do is to not get distracted. Not get distracted by what's going on. Yeah, there's stuff going on. There's shit that's going on in the world. And all of this stuff that is happening in the world is calling us, it's an opportunity for all of us to love even more, to love even stronger. Man, and I know, I get it. It is not an easy thing to do all the time, but it's possible. You know, all it takes is for us to be willing to rise above the lower vibration. Now, again, I'm not saying that we want to bury our heads. In fact, what we want to do is to use that vibration that is within us, that higher vibration, again, call it whatever works for you, to get into action. You know, so if that for you means going out to protest, well, then great. But do it from a place of wanting to see, you know, do it from a place of unconditional love. And I'll talk a little bit about that. Do it from a place of clarity, not from a place of anger and pissosity, meaning, you know, pissosity, as Iyanla Van Zant would say, is the state of being pissed off, you know. So we don't want to do that from a place of pissosity, because what happens, and we see it in the news all the time, and I get it, man, people are tired, sick and tired of all of this that's going on. And so what happens a lot of the times are the protests that are going on, turns out, you know, where now there are shops that are being looted, you know, buildings being burned, cars being, you know, rolled over and burned. That's not protesting. You know, that's a show of anger. And again, I understand it. But and so then what happens when that happens, then the media gets to take that and then twist that around to see those people, you know, that could happen. So instead of doing that, instead of going out there and being drawn in by the anger, you know, and you want to get out there and you want to protest and you want to march and you want to do that, instead of doing it from a place of blind anger, let me put that word in front of anger, because this stuff can piss us off, right? Because it's just crazy that has been going on for so many years, and people are sick and tired of it going on for so many years. But instead of doing it from blind anger, you know, do it from, as Bruce Lee would say, emotional content. And anger is an emotion. But when we are clear on that, not getting distracted and staying the course in the new normal, then we get a chance to show up even better, even bolder, even badder, right? Where we get to show up from this unconditional love, from the space of unconditional love, saying, you know what? I am here to stand, and I stand in love, and we will not take this any longer. Now, let me talk about what I mean about unconditional love. Unconditional love means that I love you no matter what you do, no matter what you don't do, no matter what you say, no matter what you don't say. So when we step into this vibration of unconditional love, we are stepping into a vibration of knowing that we make a difference. We make a difference. So staying the course in the new normal also is a call for us to up-level our spiritual practice, be it meditation, be it prayer, be it yoga, be it walking, whatever it is for you. We are at a time, folks, we are at a tipping point where our consistent spiritual practice will assist in us staying anchored in the truth of who we all are. You know, it doesn't matter. I was talking about this with a group of folks this past Sunday, where not one of us is born into a religion. Not one of us. Now, we may be taught religion, we may be brought into a religion, but when we are born, we are not born religious. We are not born a Christian. We are not born a Jewish person. We are not born a Hindu. We are born as spiritual beings. Now, those religions we get to grow up with, and there's nothing wrong with that, until we allow those religions to blind our eyes, and then start to divide, and it divides by saying, well, my God is better than your God, and so forth and so on. No, unconditional love, which all the religions teach, is this love, which is a spiritual feeling, which is a spiritual way of being. This love is that type of love that allows us to show up, and to show up powerfully, to show up unafraid. I'm not saying that you won't feel the fear, but to feel the fear and walk through it anyway, because that's loving yourself. Dr. Ernest Holmes would say a lot of the times, as he would begin his radio broadcast or his television broadcast, he would say that there is a power in the universe greater than we are, and we get to use it. I like to add on, there's a power in the universe greater than we are, and we get to use it, and let's surrender to allow it to use us. Now, when I say surrender, what I mean by that is surrendering. Let me speak for myself. Surrendering my attachment to the personality that I know as Eugene Holden, right? Scripture. I love scripture these days, because I am seeing the metaphysical scientific basis be the foundation under that. When it says, I of my own self can do nothing, it's not the personality that is doing the work. It is the infinite intelligence. Again, call it whatever you want, whatever works for you. It is that which is within inside of you that is doing this work. So what we want to do is to surrender our little selves, to allow that higher self of us, which is within us, it's not outside of us, that which is within us, to guide and direct our actions. To have faith that all of this is turning out perfectly, that we are in a time right here and right now where we are called to show up even more, and to have faith. But as they say, right, faith without works is dead. Or as Dr. Ernest Holmes would say, treat and move your feet. Yes, let's do our prayer work. Let's do our meditation work. Let's do our spiritual practice, but then let's get busy. Staying the course in the new normal is about staying connected with that intelligence that guides and directs all of us to see a greater vision. See, what we're talking about here is raising our vibration. We are talking about raising our vibration to see from a bird's eye view that there is more to what's going on than meets the eye. And the only way that we can see that is not getting distracted by all of the stuff that's going on. Again, recognizing what's going on. Again, I'm not saying to ignore that. In fact, we can't ignore it. There's no ignoring it. And we're being called, each and every one of us, we are all being called to step up and do whatever it is that we want to do, or that we're being called to do. This is staying the course in the new normal. This thing about normal, who wants to be normal? We've heard this saying before. It's resurfaced every once in a while, that normal is a setting on the dryer, right? I don't want to be the normal dude. I don't want to be that person who normally does things, right? I want to be my natural, beautiful, divine self that's here to make a difference, that's here to live on purpose, because I know that we are all here on purpose for a purpose. And the only way to do that is to not to fall into the normality of life, but to show up as your natural, beautiful, powerful, creative self. knowing that each and every one of us from around the world, we are all connected. You say, well, Eugene, how do you know that? This is easy. Every one of us inhales and exhales. Every one of us around the world, right? Here's the thing about that. The air that I breathe and the air that you breathe, it's the same air. It's the same air. So we are all connected. So as we continue to stay the course by up-leveling our spiritual practice, we now get to see beyond the new normal, and we get to now step into being our natural selves to show up as our brilliant, beautiful, powerful selves. Yeah, now is the time for us to get up off the couch. Now is the time to allow our spiritual practice to guide us into action. Now is the time for us to be absolutely sure that in the midst of all of the stuff that's going on, all is well. All is well. I'm reminded of this gospel song, wading in the water, children, wading in the water. God's going to stir up the waters. So these waters are being stirred up by life itself. Right? The waters are being stirred up by life itself. Why? Because there's a healing, as our brother Jamie Lula would say, there's a healing going on. There's a healing that's been called for centuries. For centuries. I'm reminded of a song, back in the 70s, by the Shylights. Now, not many of you know that name, and I get that or remember it. But verse 2 of this song went like this. The country's trying to see who's got the power to kill the most. When they run out of power, the world's gonna be a ghost. They know we're not satisfied, so we begin to holler. They give us a promise and throw in a few more dollars. But there's no price for happiness. There's no price for love. Up goes the price of living, and you're right back where you was. So whatever you got, just be glad you got it. But now it's time to get on up and get some more of it. For God's sake, give a little more power to the people. Here we are at this time to stand in that power, to be that power, to show up and stay the course in this new normal. I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Real Talk with Eugene. I am so grateful to the New Thought Media Network that produces this show. My brother, the Reverend Robert Brzezinski, who is behind the scenes. Again, in the comments section, click on that link to donate, because your donations, no matter what it is, $1 to $100, no matter what it is, it goes to help this platform get the voices out. And whatever you give helps us to help the planet. Again, this has been another episode of Real Talk with Eugene. I love you, and I know that your day is blessed. Remember, stay the course in the new norm. Shine your light. You are here on purpose for a purpose. Peace and abundant blessings.
You've been listening to Real Talk with Eugene Holden on the New Thought Media Network. If you've enjoyed this programming, please tell a friend and join us next week for more Real Talk with Eugene Holden.